the greatest setback may have just been the key to pushing you forward into what you truly, I feel like, are meant to do. Um, there is an energy of there's a card in my archetype deck that describes it perfectly. The Starborn, like you're meant to do something. You have this innate idea that you are meant to do something, and whether that is like something bigger and beyond yourself, it could still be the simplest thing of not only just like a perspective shift, but like an activity shift. Like you're shifting from different, um, even like sources of activity. Oh, there's a loaf lurking. Where'd she go? And she disappeared right as she showed up. Oh my god, why does that feel like the energy that you may have been set back by? I feel like you felt like, oh, there comes the shark lurking again. Like, there comes that energy lurking again. And you, like, go to turn around and they're gone. Someone doesn't want to get caught, is what I'm hearing. Someone doesn't want to get caught that they have been, like, against you the whole time. And that they've been, like, hearing every sort of thing, like, around you, about you. And whether it's good or bad, you've been like, there's been this energy of like someone kind of keeping their cards close to them. And I feel like this is you and another energy on a different level. I feel like you're very aware of who is like people who are meant for you and people who aren't meant for you. But with the Hermit here, it's like you're keeping your cards close to yourself. Like, you know, certain people haven't fully revealed themselves to be an enemy in disguise, kind of a thing. Because I think to your heart, there are good people. They are good people, is what I'm hearing. They are good people. They are good people. Because at the end of the day, what has happened essentially isn't like involving them. It's essentially what happened after the fact that made sort of this whole situation kind of what it is. Hello, there she is. That's my roommate's cat, by the way. She likes to hang out a little bit here and there. Okay, I'm gonna let her hang. Not sure what she's doing. Ooh, that's the energy. All right, I'm gonna let this person hang. I'm not sure what they're doing, and I feel like for some of you, there's a call to either gain the confirmation that you are doing what you need to do and gain the confirmation that you not involving your energy very like closely to these people is like a form of protection. And I feel like this Hermit energy is coming out in a form of protection because you know all the answers lie within you, and you've been deeply searching for the truth, the answers to the scenario at hand. And I think you've been discovering how far in depth some of the like psychology goes for some people, because you understand that, you know, certain people are only going to hang around certain people due to either like X, Y, and Z reasons, whether they're good or bad reasons. It's like there are factual, like, fact of the matter reasons why people hang around other people that you know of. Whether you like those people or not, it's more of like, okay, those are not my people, that's not my vibe, that's not my cup of tea. And sometimes maybe what is someone's cup of tea on the other side is almost a cup of poison. And I feel like you've been deeply rooted into discovering how to be carefully helpful to the people that end up drinking the toxin. I'm hearing that there are going to be people who are potentially, I hate to use the phrase drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's drinking the Kool-Aid of someone's like narcissism and their narcissistic bullshit is the blatant way I can explain it. And it's not even like you want to be like super helpful to the people who are like drinking this cup of tea that is toxin. Because I feel like your cup of tea that you serve to the table is like you're literally serving tea. Like it is actual tea, there's nothing to it. And if it's like, oh, gossiping tea, like you're 100% honest, you don't fill anything with lies, you don't cut any corners, you're not like pumping your tea full of sugar saying, oh, it's natural fruit flavors that are in there that's making it that sweet when it's really sugar. Even if they say there's no sugar at all, they still use like the fake sugar and the fake sweeteners. You know, there's a level to it. It's like, even if you were to bring this cup of tea, this action of bringing this cup of tea, bringing this idea to the table, it's almost like people think, oh, it's full of lies, full of lies, full of lies. They don't want to look twice at it. But those are the people who've already drinking this, like drinking, drunken. Maybe people are drunk off this toxin, is what I'm hearing. Um, you are dealing with people who have already sipped from this toxic tea that you have been so explorative of how to make your tea in the most honest way. And this tea is a big metaphor for talk, like gossip. Um, and I feel like people who have already had the toxic tea won't ever be able to see the truth and honesty behind your tea, because oh, there always must be something wrong with that person's tea. There always has to be something wrong with that person's tea. Why? That's where the cat Lurkin, it was giving me the energy of like, oh, I don't want to get caught on my lies. Oh, I got to skedaddle here. When people try to get the recipe on your tea, you're fully honest. You're just saying it how it is, and if people have questions, you are 100% willing to answer them. Other people, on the other hand, mm, this is coffee, not tea. Get a little grounding energy in your life from this. I feel like definitely you are trying to be grounded within yourself, but don't forget just actual grounding work to make you feel actually grounded in yourself. Mm. These other energies aren't believing it. And when they're going to the person who made the toxic tea to ask this energy of like, hey, what's going on here? They're either nowhere to be found, like the chef's nowhere to be found, and the recipe is like just said as, well, this is the recipe and that's the recipe we're following. And when in actuality the recipe they're following isn't even a recipe at all. It's almost like a fourth grader came up with it, is what I'm hearing. Like how a fourth grader, like a kid, would just think that, oh yeah, it has no sugar in it and it's all natural sweeteners. But the natural sweetener is still kind of one of those fake sweeteners, those fake sugar things. And a kid wouldn't really know of the better. They'd be like, oh, aren't they the same thing? They just make the thing sweet and one isn't sugar. That's what they would think. And it's a very basic way of thinking, and I think that this other energy is very capable of asking themselves hard questions because they're very mature internally. But I'm hearing someone plays the dumb card and is like, oh yeah, I've been playing collective like a fool here. And it's just so telling to know who actually is the fool in the situation, because it's all through action. This is why I feel like a lot of you, your actions are 100% speaking louder than your words, because someone is not doing this internal work. They're constantly doing internal work on you, trying to figure out how they can, like, I'm hearing, like, take you down, put you out, make you feel like you're not entirely important, make you feel like you gotta hold on to all the things that you got in your life, because if they like knock you down off this one peg, then it's like, oh, they've ruined your life, your career, or whatever. It's like, that's what someone's thinking, and you're sitting here like, my value of my life and my also human, the value of your own person, this vessel that your soul embodies, you value so much about experience in life than you do about material things. And you do take care of your own body and you do your best, but it's like, as long as I got me, myself, and I am going to be happy. because that's what I can choose to do with my life. That's what you know you can choose to do with your life. And Four of Pentacles is out here being like, you understand the new energy that can spawn from you being very secure internally. This isn't just about security externally, like making sure all your ducks in a row type of energy. You are making sure you're right with your mind, right with your body, and right with your emotional state and spiritual state as well, just spiritual, like health, even. And I feel like dragonflies are going to be a great symbol for somebody. And I am also forgetting the dragonfly association. Is there a dragonfly in this animal deck? I'm getting something about dragonflies. I swear there has to be like a dragonfly in this deck. I guess it would be of air. I could be wrong. This may not have a dragonfly in this oracle deck, but I am... There's a lot of insects, because like dragonflies also make me think of like butterflies and moths, and butterflies and moths are very, very symbolizing like great change, transformation, transmutation, even because of the death that leads to the rebirth, you know, the metamorphosis in the cocoon. I think there is a dragonfly card. I could be wrong. I also feel like I'm skipping. Oh, there is a dragonfly card. Okay, so I'm gonna read this because I feel the need to just focus on this dragonfly that's in this card, especially the fact that this dragonfly is a big symbol to move on to better things. That you know that if you hold on too like closely and too tightly to any fear, any doubt, any insecurity, you know it's going to hold you back. Like there's no doubt in your mind that like you understand your own brain. You've been the master of your own mind for a while now, to where you understand, oh, I'm caught up in my emotions. Let's reel that back, not like in a way of shoving your emotions down. It's more of reeling back the loss of control. You're gaining gaining control, or regaining control over your own mind and emotions and heart, and just fully being honest with yourself and just allowing yourself to pour it out all onto this table, just because this is what it is, this is how I feel, this is the fact of the matter, this is what my intuition's telling me. And it may not all make sense to you, but as long as you are honest and getting it out of your brain and exploring every little detail about it, you gain the utmost wisdom that I think you and possibly I have ever seen in a reading. And I feel like this is where the dragonfly comes like symbolic, because it's just symbolizing this like moving on to something that you know is better, because you know when you hold on too tightly to material things or immaterial things, situations, friendships, relationships, companionships, you know that it can hold you back. It doesn't allow you to step through this new doorway. Dragonfly, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it always as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind, reel it back in, so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, you're seeing clearly, joyful and magical. When out of balance, you can't concentrate and you have a busy mind. I feel like that's the moment, like right when you can't concentrate, you sit there and you're like, oh, no, 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 no. We know better than this. Hermit card, we know better than this. And there's a mirror happening. Someone is trying to be like, look at collective, and they're holding up a mirror against you, and you're just sitting there like, okay, hold on, it's in my face, kind of a thing. You're just like, oh, this is in my face, kind of reaction. And people want to read into that like you're scared, but you're just like, no, this is in my face. And then you take a second, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, oh, hey. And you're just like, oh, hey, me, hey, you that I've talked to before. You've talked to the in inner parts of your mind. You've talked to yourself in depth to the point where no one can tell you about yourself that you don't already know. No one can make you accept things that you haven't already accepted before. Like, you've accepted almost literally everything about your life up until the future that will happen, because who knows what happens in the future. There are more obstacles, more life experiences, more lessons that we learn. So when it comes to the hermit card here, you're very, very crystal clear in how you're seeing yourself. And I think someone's like trying to catch you in those moments of like lack of concentration to try and like get back at you. But what they fail to realize is that they'll never get you. They'll never get it. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. I'm hearing, if someone's being that kind of idiot, take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath before you tell them that they are an idiot, because somebody is being what it feels like your ego wants to call it. Oh my god, how can this person be this dumb? It is like what your ego is just kind of thinking. Not that's a bad thing. It's just the, oh my god, I'm about to start acting crazy because this person just said something super incorrect. And it's obviously to get a reaction out of you, but it's in this way that you're just like, oh my god, I gotta actually explain this to what feels like a 3-year-old, or like I was saying, like a fourth grader, a third grader. Someone has a very third grade level mindset here, and it's not like their intellect is of the third grade. It is literally how they view life, how they want to gain things in life, and how they think life should work is of a third grader's mindset. There is something so lacking here with someone, because I feel like while they're trying to hold this mirror up to you, the collective is looking back like, oh yeah, hey, that's me. I've talked to that person. I've talked to that side of me. This mirror you're holding up, I've spoken and talked to in depth with myself. And this other person cannot say the same. They don't even know that side of themselves, is what I'm hearing. They've not spoken to that side of themselves in probably, if you're old enough watching this, probably over 20 years. And that's a long time for the brain to really forget what they feel like they should be doing based off of what they would like to do with their lives. Not just hop on someone's back and piggyback their way there. And then when they try to have conversations with themselves, it is literally like a third grader trying to talk to an adult and explain to an adult how life works. And it may not sound like they're of a third grade intellect, but it's the mindset, how they are viewing it is like of a younger kid, like under 10 years old, even like some kid who just figured out how money worked and realized that yeah, kid, rich people do get tax breaks and all this other stuff, and realizing that like maybe we should tax the rich more or whatever. And then the kid getting very like radicalized, you could say, and being like, yeah, down with this or down with that, and we should implement this. And then you hear the kid, why don't we just print more money for the people who need it? And then you're like, oh yeah, you don't know, is the energy even just from the universe too. Like, I feel like there's that thing that is said, and it's like almost like a Freudian slip here, to where they show their cards, they show their hand without having to show their hand, because it's through what they say. And you don't need to say anything to show people how you move, what you do, and how you do it. And specifically how you move. You don't need to say anything. You do. You do things. You create. You keep creating. You're constantly creating every single day. And I think the big thing to recognize here is how I'm hearing that someone is like, how grateful I am to just be myself, is what I'm hearing. Because anytime you find yourself like in the shadows, not feeling the greatest, and almost like you're not necessarily drowning in your emotions, but it's almost this like the void of your mind. You're just sitting there like, oh, I'm just like not having a good day, not feeling great about myself. You just say, hold on, I recognize that devil like energy. I recognize that hurt, that pain, that insecurity, that fear, and that doubt. I'm going to use these two swords to cut that down, to cut that out, and to actually inspect it. It's almost like you're using these two swords almost like as surgical, like, I don't know, surgical pliers, knives, like surgical like equipment to like really like investigate something to its core, because you understand that how you feel about yourself is where you gain a lot of your strength and confidence. And that is speaking for anyone here, because anyone can experience that. When you are being able to be fully honest to yourself and fully honest about yourself, you are able to explore the utmost depths of your mind here, where this whole void of your mind becomes almost a constant, a small bit of comfort, only because you know it's not something that you're trapping your emotions in. It's something you're sitting in this void of your mind saying, oh my, I'm able to actually process and transmute this energy. And this energy is so clear and calming. Like it has this wave of calm over you, like you know everything's going to be okay because you're making it okay. You're using the depths of your mind to make it okay and say what is not okay, and you're cutting that out. It's about time is what I'm hearing. Someone's even saying that to themselves, because it's almost like, hey, it's about time that you get right with all of these other things in your life that you know you're meant for. And it's not in this like stop focusing on this mirror energy, but it's almost like if you have been having this on your mind, it was just a lot of confirmation of, hey, you are like going along this track of like emotionally and even like spiritually, energetically disconnecting from this mirror energy that someone's trying to like place onto you, that is almost now at this point a distraction. And the universe, whoever you speak to, whoever your spirit guides are, whoever you go to, is saying, you don't need distractions right now. So I'm going to help you out. You are so clearly enlightened on how, if you go back on these three cups here, you're going to repeat a cycle. You're going to repeat that lesson again. And now it's a time where you're saying, I don't think so. I don't think I want to do that again. I don't want to do that anymore. I found the comfort of my own emotions, of my own mind. It took a lot of inspecting to do, and a lot of investigating in your own head of like, what is this? What is that? What does this mean? And I feel like someone's heavily learning about a lot of psychology and a lot of mental health and all of the different functions in the brain that are involved in mental health and mental illness. Because when you think of our brains and how just the basic way of serotonin functioning in our brain is completely different from person to person, is something that I learned like I think last month randomly. It was actually I stream on Twitch a lot, so when I was browsing on Twitch one time, I saw this. This was like a year or two ago. I saw this like therapist basically um, doing like therapy sessions with other content creators live on their stream to like have this open conversation, open dialogue about it. And it was really cool to see all the different information that like was being talked about, that people were asking in the chat. Like they were asking each other questions, and there's a lot of knowledgeable people in the chat just offering information, saying like, yes, I am this person, I do this, and we studied this one time, and da 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 da. And one thing I learned was the fact that it's really hard to understand what our serotonin like process actually is, because it's different from person to person. And that's where it comes to the point where everyone's trying a bunch of different sort of mental health medication to find the one that works for them. And it may be due to the fact that, you know, we may be actually processing and creating a bunch of serotonin, but the little place the serotonin releases from into our brain could be super super small. And that's where medication can help open these sort of I want to say access points, or release points of serotonin, um, these like doorways, you could say, uh, it helps like release these serotonin molecules, chemicals, I don't know what you call it. Lots of very fancy sciencey terms were said there, so it was hard to retain it all. Um, when it could change the rate of it being released, and also certain medication can change the rate of it being like certain brain chemicals being taken in to create serotonin, all of that stuff. Um, and just the constant like clear awareness of seeing that I have to find the thing that works for me, that not only is like, yes, this works for me, but it actually like unlocks this doorway. Like, what is the medication for your life is what I'm like hearing here. What is the medication for your life that can allow you to open up more doorways in your life? And if the medication is constantly like studying these three, ooh, if the medication's constantly studying these three cups so you can remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing, that is pure wisdom right there. And I think you are learning so much more about yourself than I think you ever could. The more that you study the three cups, the more it's like, I know why I'm choosing this fourth cup. I know why I'm choosing this thing again. And sometimes as human beings, our brains are going to be the first things that stop us doing from what we want to do. It's not what anyone said, it's not what anyone else thinks. It is us making that conscious choice to even believe what those people are saying, or believe that we can't do something, or we're not strong enough. And I feel like someone needs to switch up their words and say, you're not enough yet. You may not have enough of something yet. And to use that power of manifestation, of pretending like you actually have that thing that you have, and see how you schedule your life differently. Um, how you are scheduling more opportunity to open up for you. And I think you are feeling this like doorway open up in a larger sense. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Fool, and Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles are reversed here. Oh, I'm seeing that these are reversed because it is something that's like of the mind space right here. Like, you're very aware of this new you that you're entering in. Because I feel like I see this star as someone just like literally like spreading their arms open and just being excited to take in all of their core like values, heart, lessons, abilities, actions, pursuits, passions. Like, you're ready to take in all of yourself here. And it's through an open mindset that you clearly get this done. You clearly see what is for you and what isn't for you. And if part of you is ever feeling a little imposter syndrome, do not forget the work that you put in. This is a dark side of the moon energy happening right now, and I'm also filming this during a new moon, so that is really really fun and cool to think about. Don't forget what you were thinking about on the last full moon, what you were committed to, what you were doing, and how it made you feel. I'm getting the sense of like how something made you feel is like the most relieving feeling. It's the most revealing feeling in the world because it's allowing you to remind yourself why you're doing something, why you chose something, why you're meant for something. I want to say I think that's all I have for you, but let's get a couple oracle cards here because this is a wild message. I think you heard everything you needed to hear. And if you need to constantly look into the mirror energy of like another person, in the sense of like maybe you understand how that person can be your like karmic opposite, is what I'm hearing. And studying that is allowing you to allowing you to understand that mirror is allowing you to understand the archetype of the mother, maiden, and crone energy. And I know that this isn't really like the order, but it's like the orphan and the maiden remind me of the maiden and the mother, because in a sense we have to like mother ourselves in this very maiden energy. I know you want to come up and snuggle, but there's not much room for you. And my tummy kind of hurts right now for the lady time reasons. So give me a second, okay? I know. I know you want to come up here. Not yet. Okay, hopefully I have appeased the loaf. I had to go put her somewhere, or at least appease her. I hope she is calm. She really likes just hanging out with me. She loves snuggles. She loves scritches. And she's my roommate, and it makes me sad. Because I love her like she's my own. I love her like she's my own. I think you need to say that to yourself. We're talking about the Mother Maiden Crone energy here. We have the Orphan. Underneath the Orphan, the Vessel. The Maiden part of this energy that we'll get to here in a second, like the actual Maiden card. The Maiden here is the Orphan, because it's kind of like the like a child, a mother, and like a grandmother kind of energy here. And the Vessel is indicating that you need to take care of your body in a more spiritual way that is understanding of your energy centers. I think you understand your energy centers more than you actually are giving yourself credit for. I don't know if you are someone that wants to like get into Reiki or is into Reiki just in general. I think you should understand a bit of Reiki here and there, and at least how to help yourself through just the root chakra like hand signs, or even just like the different chakra points of hand signs, because every energy center has like a hand sign that you can do. And the fact that there's chakras indicated here in this card, like you are really meditating here on a lot more than you think. Because the vessel is just like your vessel, your body, your whole being, the thing that like guides you through life. And even the vessel of like your spiritual soul, and like protecting like your heart and your mind space is what I'm hearing as well. I also want to like focus on how I know we're getting this weird like different maiden mother crone energy here, but I want to say it's like under this guise that you wouldn't have understood it any other way. And I don't know what that means for somebody, but it's almost like the maiden does have to be the mother of the self. I think you get that more than anything, and that's the like different sort of upside down view that creates this like groundedness into your heart that is so pure that you feel that with every being in your body. Underneath the maiden, well, that was the first card. There are two cards. That was the first card I just pulled out. Alethea? Or Alethea? Alethea? This card represents truth. And what is underneath that? The village. You understand the whole what takes a village energy. And sometimes you know that you've had to create that village within your heart. The maiden has had to mother themselves. And that means you've had to take care of yourself in almost every way possible. And I'm hearing that you are more of a mother to yourself than any mother like would ever be. And I feel like that's something to be like grateful for and be proud of, and in the sense of sometimes we kind of have to be, in the sense of we're the only ones who really understand the depths of our mind. Like no one else can really step into our like shoes of our brain and really like wrap their head around all the different intricacies of you and your soul. And I almost want to say that like you feel this with such a sense and like I want to say vibrancy of truth that it almost would take a village to take care of you at this point. To do what you know you need to do, it would take a village to take care of you, but not in like a bad way. It's the fact that you've been taking care of yourself. and it may take a village now, but I'm hearing, like, what's it to you in like 30 years? It's gonna seem like nothing. It's gonna seem like every day. And I think you are very much growing from this maiden energy, growing out of it. It's the only card in reverse, really, there. And I think you understand how grateful you are to understand how to mother yourself, but I think you also are healing from the fact that you didn't have a mother to be a good role model, really. Whether you had one or hadn't, I feel like you didn't have a good mother like archetype, and if you did, it was shortly lived and maybe only found in like certain people who are really open-minded to you and your heart. Every act of destruction is then an act of creation. Every act of creation is first an act of destruction. And I will leave you with that. And I'm grateful that you sat here and hung out with me during this reading. I'm going to get one little card here from the Shaman Healing Oracle here. One card to just represent one last little confirmation for the collective. What kind of confirmation can they get here? If you just want one little card, couple little cards, whatever spirit wants to give as confirmation. Please and thank you. They were fishing for that perfect card. What does that say? Stripping illusions. This is why you're studying the mirror. You're stripping the illusions of every bit of the world, I want to say. You've been completely, wholeheartedly honest with yourself to the point that you have created this village within your own soul, created these building blocks within your own soul that you can't not be honest. And there's a lot more illusions to stifle out, is what I'm hearing. Stifle out in a way that's like going to not hurt you, but help you. Help you so you can help others. Help you so you can feed this opportunity with love. Feed and seed it with love and light and heart. And also the light of the truth. Don't doubt your new beginnings here, because they are right here in front of you. And all you've been doing is growing and growing your own power. What could a soul like that be capable of? Thank you for letting me read your cards. Thank you for watching all the way through, because that is all I have for you. And as always, I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye.